Welcome back to Unsanctioned. Today is going to be a fun one. We're going to talk paranormal experiences. We're going to talk about what we did in those situations besides shit ourselves. And, shaking, vomiting, shitting, the usual. Uh, and we are going to kind of just dive into all of that today. I'm super excited because I love stuff like this. I've been obsessed with stuff like this forever. So I'm really excited. How about you, Lynn?
I am too. I don't have a lot to share just because I feel like once I started to really interact with spirits, I was like, "Hey, don't do this shit because I'll get scared." There are boundaries. Please respect them.
Valid. This is going to be a fun one because I get to talk about a lot of different things. But before we dive in, don't forget to go check us out on social media, on Patreon at patreon.com/unsanctioned. The UNS is capitalized, where you get a bunch of little special experiences, access to different things like our Discord, where we go live. We have a lot of chats. We get to talk about different things. And don't forget to check out our website at www.unsanctionedonline.com, where you can access things like our services and products and spell work from the both of us. So definitely go check that out. We have a lot to offer and more to come as we start to dive into a new line, but that's a secret. You'll have to find out when it comes out. And on that note, yeah, Ariana
Yeah.
Grande. Yeah. Yeah, don't forget to check us out on social media. For us, we are at Podcast Unsanctioned, and then as well as our own. You can find me on Instagram at Sebas_the_storm. Um, yeah, Len, where can they find you?
Um, I don't exist. Don't engage with me.
At the
Um,
Crossroads.
Find me at the crossroads by carrier pigeon or send a message with a pigeon. There are actually a lot of pigeons here, which is really interesting. Whatever,
Did,
that's
did
whatever.
you see the reel I sent you a while ago about like when you're a witch and you accidentally summon a carrier raven instead of a
Yes,
carrier pigeon?
yes.
And it's just like, I need you to take this gun to the coven.
Right, right, right. Oh, there's another. Okay, you can find me on Instagram at edgisada_len. DM me for Baraja Española readings. Because I would put that on the website, but I'm lazy. So just reach out to me directly. Um, but going back to the pigeons real quick. There's I don't know if you've seen it or heard it, or I may have sent it to you, I don't remember. But there's a Instagram reel where there's like it's like badly photoshopped animation, whatever. Um that's how you know it's made by humans. Um and they're like 10 what is it? 7,000 fucking pigeons. Eat this man. And then the pigeon cooing in the back. I love it.
Moving on. Um, Paranormal experiences. What is it? I know it's technically aliens, but like encounters of the, what is it, fifth,
Fourth, fifth
fourth
kind? I don't know.
kind? It's a number. Fourth kind, fourth kind.
Okay. Is that the movie where they had all like the B-roll of like the barn owls just like sitting and where they were
Yes,
upset? Okay,
yes,
okay, okay.
yeah. The one in Alaska.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Alaska. Uh, that's that's water from a glacier in Alaska. Uh, Ghost, spooky spirits, entities. Oh,
So, quick question.
right.
What is okay, so paranormal experience, are we just talking about like dead people ghosts or like engaging with spirits in general? Because I've gotten
Right.
more stuff from spirits that were not human than from people that were or from things that were.
Yeah, no, I think it just means like crazy encounters in general.
Hmm.
I think right now, I think
Oh,
I
okay.
would like to
Okay.
talk about things that are like a little more. That's a horrible word to use. I don't know why that's the word that came up. Tangible, but like, like
Okay.
manifestations, things that have
Yeah.
occurred, things that have like physical manifestations, and like things that you would see in like horror movies or like
Hmm.
paranormal movies, and that can include anything. On that note, I did want to talk about this because, like, from the way I was taught, a
Yeah.
ghost is not a spirit that's necessarily conscious.
Mm,
A ghost is a person stuck in a time loop who's
that
died.
makes sense. Yeah.
And this can happen due to a number of reasons. The most common being two things: if they died somewhere that has a lot of quartz, and two, if they died on wood, and like actual wood. Um, because wood and quartz both retain memory, and if it's a very,
Mm,
very traumatic death, you will end up in a time loop. A part of you will end up in a time loop. Sometimes all of you, depending on how you died and shit like that. But like, this has just been a lot of what I'm going to say today, listeners, as always, is just forbidden from my experiences.
hmm.
I don't want to hear none of this bullshit of like, shut the fuck up. I don't give a fuck. This has just been from my years of experience of what I've come up with because I've seen it multiple times. This is what happens. But like, for example, right? Like if somebody dies really bloody on hardwood and it's like actual wood, the wood retains the memory and the person ends up in a time loop of that traumatic experience. Um, and sometimes you can help them, and sometimes you can't. I will
Is that how
say
objects
it's
become haunted?
yes.
Okay.
One of the main ways, yes. uh, yeah, is like you'll find that like it's the object was either nearby or being held or some instance involved in the death, and then the person is stuck in that time loop with this object and such. So this is like the type of hauntings that you see where like, um, it's always at the same day, at the same time of day, and it's always the same thing, and like sometimes you can get responses out of the spirit, but like at the end of the day, like that part of the soul is stuck in the time loop. So even if you can conversate with them, it's still going to go through the time loop and
Hmm.
then restart. And so getting that part of the soul out of that can be kind of difficult. It's not impossible. The only times I've found it impossible is when the spirit is like so unwilling to like listen to you as the practitioner and like kind of be willing to work with you, that it's like they have their blinders on, right? So like nothing else exists except that time loop. um and sometimes you just can't. Oops.
Oopsie.
Oopsie. Technically not my fault, but yeah, so that is something I wanted to bring up. I'm not gonna lie, I still will use the word ghost, just because I don't want to like confuse people by saying like, oh well, the spirit, blah blah blah, and then people get all weird about the word spirit. I don't know why, but like, so I think I don't know. I feel like when I say spirit, people immediately think inhuman, and I'm like, bitch, we are all spirits.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking about humans, but like when you say ghost, people immediately are like, oh, a human.
Like dead person. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I sometimes will just be like, yes, the ghost of so and so, or like there's a
Right.
ghost here. Uh but yeah, so just we can talk just encounters. I have so much. And I actually
Hmm.
have some that I can actually show proof of, photos of and stuff. So I'm really excited about all that.
Okay.
You said, okay, so share with the class.
Okay. So tell us.
So tell us. So first and foremost, I just want to say that I've been having paranormal experiences since I was a fucking child. Um, and not like, oh, he has an imaginary friend. No, bitch, I was 2 years old living in The Conjuring.
It'd be like that.
And that's why I get so upset when people are like, oh my God, like, wow, you've had experiences. And I'm like, bitch, I was 2 years old being tormented by crazy spirits. So let's start with the first one that I can remember. My neighbor. when I was a kid in California was a military veteran who shot himself in the head, and then thought it would be okay that the two most psychic people were his next door neighbors and would torment me and my mother. Um, so he would very clichely actually, but take my little music box of Noah's Ark and slowly wind it up where you would hear the little and then let it play. He would I had a sliding closet as a kid, and he would slowly slide the door open and stand in the doorway and then come out and torment me. He'd be under the bed. He would give me sleep paralysis and be like above the bed, floating above me, basically like hag writing. Bitch, why are you a grown man hag writing a 2 year old? um, don't be creepy. Go haunt a grown man. um, and he would like take our dishes from the kitchen and throw them around the kitchen. There was one moment I remember where me and my cousins, they were like hanging out. We were in the dining area and we were sitting, and me and my cousin were sitting facing the back door to the backyard, and like the blinds were open, and we saw him walk past, stop, look at us, and keep going. And I vividly remember this because we were eating spaghetti. Uh, this is the type of trauma that makes you remember it. I don't remember much of my childhood, but I remember
Yeah.
this because, bitch, we were scared shitless. Um, and talking to my mother, it turns out that he would actually sexually assault her.
Oh my god.
Uh, yeah, so spirits can do that, unfortunately. And so he was tormenting her in his own way. And throughout all of these experiences, I just want to let y'all know that my father was a non believer in all of this. He was like, no, that's not real, like blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff. But it was so funny because shit would happen in front of him and he would like freak out, but he would just try and be like, no, like there's nothing, I don't know what you're talking about, nothing happened. And it's like we all watched it happen.
I
Anyway,
feel like
go
I
ahead.
feel like there's this particular type of cishet man that will do that because they're scared. Because they don't want it to be real. So they're just like choosing to.
My brother's that way.
My brothers are also that way. And stuff that they've seen, they pretend they haven't. And I'm like, okay, I mean, that's fine. Good for you, I guess. I mean, whatever.
A note on my brother. Huge one of those types of like skeptics, like, no, it's not real, magic's not real, blah blah blah. But he has had experiences before, but he'll like say he hasn't. And then he'll be like, so one time I made a set of blood rings that would turn his abilities off because he
Mhm.
asked me to. But I was like, I thought you don't believe in this. So I made him these rings and he wore them, and he would wear them 24/7 in the shower, to sleep, and he would never take them off. Even if I was like, let me see the rings. No, don't be afraid. Let me see the rings. You don't believe in this shit. He'd be like, no, absolutely not. And I was like, what happened?
Just
Uh,
because you don't believe doesn't make it any less real.
it's giving, this is a jar of dirt. You don't want it? Give it back.
Yeah.
No. um, yeah, it's giving that. But yeah,
Mhm.
so just keeping in mind that like that was happening, and so as a kid, I would constantly run to my parents' room to be like, "Please let me sleep with you. I'm so fucking scared." And my dad would be like, "Go back to your room. Nothing's happening. There's nothing there." Um, and like, bitch, the way keep in mind, this wasn't the only spirit that was tormenting me as a child. This was just one of the main ones that was pretty consistent about tormenting me. There was plenty of other spirits that were popping up out of the blue, chasing me up the stairs, doing all this crazy shit to me. But this one was like a really crazy one. And uh, he was tormenting my mom, and he would torment us even in dreams. So he would like worm his way into our dreams and shit. Um, so that's the earliest
Mhm.
paranormal experience I have. And then it's continued for 26 years. It's been 84 years.
I was about to
Um,
quote that. That's so funny.
exactly. I told you we could pilot a mech perfectly. The single brain cell between us.
Right.
In our in the radio comms of our mech, you would just hear brain rot. It's just a bunch of random sound bites and us quoting random ass shit all the time. But yeah, so that was like one of the earliest ones that I've ever had. If not the early, that's probably the earliest. I mean, I was like
Hmm.
2 years old. So, what do you
The
remember then?
the earliest for me, I don't remember. It's something that my mom will like tell me about because there was one night she and I were drinking together, and she's like, "You used to be like such a weird fucking kid." Uh, she was like, "You were a freaky kid. You used to scare us." Um, she said that apparently when I was little, I used to go into her room and cry that there was a person that wouldn't, or not one person. There were two people that wouldn't let me sleep. Um, and they would constantly try to like they would talk all night, and I would like sleep with the light on because it would like keep them away. Because I liked sitting in the dark corner of the room. Um, and my mom says that she would like she's like you would cry, you would come into the room asking to stay in the room, and you would say that the little boy and the little girl wouldn't leave you alone. And I was like, what the hell? Like, I don't remember any of that. Um, Based on some other stuff that she said about it and like vague memories, I think that they weren't, I don't think that they were human. I think that they were definitely something else. Maybe duendes. Um, I'm not sure because my mom used to say that I used to talk about goblins a lot or like little people. And so she's like, now I'm like, okay, well, those were probably duendes. But yeah, they liked to fuck with me because I don't know. Um, but that like makes me think of like like recorded hauntings. Like I'm thinking of like the Bell Witch. The Bell Witch haunting. There was like the main person that was antagonized by what they considered the poltergeist was the child, but um like they were going through something. They were abused child basically, and she was also the only one experiencing the poltergeist activity. Like it was she was the only one that was being attacked. She was the only one being physically hurt by it. Um, which is interesting because no one else talked about seeing the stuff that I saw. But my parents or my mom at least did have her own stories of like, oh, I've seen this, I've seen that. Um, I don't know. That's weird. That's interesting.
The good thing to bring up is like the poltergeist. I don't. I was taught that poltergeists are not spirits.
Hmm.
Poltergeists are caused by living people, and it's usually someone who's more than capable at magic or like has like a really strong psychic ability. Um,
Mm,
and it's that kind of building up and like causing things to happen around them. So for example, one example that's like super low level is that I cannot sit by antenna TVs. Um, Anything that is like an antenna or radio style TV, anything that receives things like that, um, will stop working if I'm around. Um, and so growing up, obviously I grew up in an era of antenna TVs. Uh, and my family would literally be like, "Can you get out of the room, please?"
that's funny.
Because they recognize that, like, if I was in the room, no matter where you put the antenna, like, especially the closer I got to it, the worse it would be. Um, and so poltergeist can be caused by people undergoing intense amounts of stress or abuse or things like that. Um, which that amount of stress and abuse can can be caused by a separate spirit as well, like
Hmm.
like being tormented or haunted by another spirit causes any child a lot of stress, and especially if that child has the capability of a lot of psychic energy or whatever you want to call it. Typically that's when you start to see poltergeist activity. I've That is just how I know poltergeist to be. Like, so if I've ever been like, oh, there's a poltergeist, I'm like, who lives here that's like the
Doing
main
this.
focus? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, who, which, the call's coming from inside the house. uh, So definitely that. And I also want to just let listeners know, like, I also have done a lot of house clearing, a lot of dealing with hauntings, paranormal investigations, exorcisms, the whole nine yards, you name it. And so these are like just experiences from there as well. Other experiences I've had. Um, what experiences haven't I had? Uh, um, I'm trying to think how much time I want to skip because otherwise this will be like a 10-hour episode. Um, so we're going to time jump a little bit. I'm going to just kind of speed through some of the stuff really quick. I've seen spirits and entities and, for lack of a better term, demons for my entire life. So like while I was at school, while I was at church, wherever the fuck I was having these experiences and paranormal things happening pretty much constantly throughout my life. I saw something that looked like a fucking God, I can never remember the fucking word. Xenomorph. Thank you. Um, that looked like a
Sent the brainstorm
xenomorph.
right back to you.
Thank you for that. I need the custody right now. Um, the xenomorph. I've been tormented by something that looked like that, something that looked like bitch the ring. Um, Other shit has tormented me my whole life. That's been in dreams, that's been in real life, that's been in
Cindy, this
spirit
bitch getting my
flight.
floor wet.
Cindy, that's a bag of bones. Um, but yeah, so it was constantly happening, and it was really hard growing up, seeing all this shit, dealing with all this shit. Not easy for any child to deal with. And I think it's just kind of funny because my brother would see like the opposite. I was like so jealous because he would see like more like I could see dead people, but it wasn't really often that I would see like the deceased. And if I did, it was never like calm dead. It was more like restless dead or vengeful dead or things like that. Whereas my brother would get like peaceful dead, and like he would see angels and like beings of light and shit. And I'm over here like fighting for my fucking life. Um, and I was like, that's not fair. That's not fair. Wait, I'm an adult.
I'm an adult.
uh, and so I was dealing with this constantly, seeing things, dealing with the dead who would be like, "Oh, you can see me, help me," and I did not have the tools at the time to
Mm-hmm.
help. And like certain dead would get aggro over not being helped, and I'm like, "Dude, I'm a child. I'm a child. Why are you asking me to help you? I don't know what the fuck to do."
I'm
um,
just a girl.
so I dealt with that, but like kind of going towards university now, um, I was constantly having experiences. And I basically went to Hogwarts. The university I went to was old, um, and very, very magical. And it was really weird because, well, it was a Catholic university. Um,
Right.
right. So before I get into that, I like really dived into witchcraft at university, and that's when I really like honed in on everything. It was like the end of high school into university is that I really like went full force into it all. But it was funny because there was this energy about the campus
Yeah.
that was just inherently magical, and I mean human spirits, inhuman spirits, the whole nine yards.
I um I do want to talk about college because the campus I went to was haunted. Um, but there was one other thing from when I was a kid. Um, I remember being like 7 years old. um, and it was late at night. Uh, I had just gone to the bathroom, was going down the hall to go to bed, and the only light that was on was the one in my bedroom and the one in the hallway, and then like to my bedroom there's the doorway into the living room, and like the couches were old, so you could hear when someone sat down in them. And my parents were asleep. They were in the room. My brothers are in. Well, they're not even. One of them wasn't an infant. He was a newborn. The other one wasn't born yet. And they were like he was sleeping in my parents' room, and I heard someone sit down on the couch in the living room, and they sounded like an adult, like a big person. Like you could hear the couch sink a bit. Like you could hear the creaking, and I was like, "Oh, what was that?" So I turned on the light, and it sounded like whatever was there immediately stood up because you could hear the couch move again. And that freaked me out. I didn't see anything, but it freaked me out. So I turned off the light and ran into my room. Um,
This bitch knows I'm here.
and that was it. That's what I remember there. Um,
God forbid a bitch could sit down and relax. God.
no, literally, I was just like, "Who's there?" And I guess they got offended.
I would be too if I sat down and someone was like, Sarah.
Get out of my house! What are you doing in my house?
Um, yeah, it was funny because like I mean, the paranormal experiences. It's me. I'm the poltergeist. um, it's me. I'm the problem. Um, things really follow me around. So
Mhm.
like when I moved away to college, things pretty much chilled out at the house allegedly. Things would happen occasionally because my mother, she can deny it all she wants. She is a practitioner.
Mhm.
Um, and so spirits are typically sensitive to her as well. And at least I know how to like kind of word myself and protect myself and if need be hide that fact from spirits. That way they can leave me the fuck alone. Um, anyway, um, sorry, someone in the hallway was being loud as fuck. But so yeah, at university things just kind of amped up,
Mhm.
especially since I started like practicing. So I started awakening my abilities. Are you a little Om Shakti? Bitch, if somebody else says
Stop.
that, I will shoot myself. I'm about to Om Shakti myself. Um, bitch, I'll end it. You know what? Let's try again in the next life. Hopefully things are better. Um,
You better hope I don't catch you in the next life.
but I digress. Anyway, so university, right? I'm there and I am inherently having experiences with spirits,
Mhm.
human, inhuman, all these things. And I'm starting to realize that the campus, for lack of a better term, is like I believe in ley lines, like these lines of energy that are like highways essentially across the world. And this is definitely one. And when you sit there and think about it, it makes a lot of sense considering where this campus is placed. And it's at the headwaters of the river of the city. So, like,
Mm.
this has been a meeting point for peoples and spirits for thousands of years. Um, and so, like, it's so much so to the point where, yes, it's a Catholic university. They still let Indigenous people go and hold their rituals at the Blue Hole. Um, so, this is like where I really started building my connection with river spirits, but that's a different story.
Yeah.
And so this campus naturally had like wards around it, and I could see them. They were like these glass walls around the campus. Um, and it was weird, it was interesting. And I'm having these experiences in hallways, in rooms. And listen, my campus was super haunted. I mean, it used to be a hospital for a plague that ran through the city for children. It used to be an orphanage. It used to be all these things. A nun was raped by a priest and she hung herself in one of the dorm rooms. So that's actually boarded up by brick, instead of just getting rid of the room and everything. So they just bricked it up,
Hmm.
because that sounds in true Catholic fashion, brick it up and pretend it didn't happen. Um,
Literally. Yeah.
is something that happened. And my classes as a designer were on the fourth floor of the oldest building on the campus, or one of the oldest three buildings. And this was actually the one that used to be like the hospital, like care area for sick people who were dying from different illnesses and plagues and whatnot. And it was so funny because as like designers, it was the design group and the video game designers were on the other side, but we were all on the same floor, which was the top floor. And it's just funny because as designers, we are up till like 3 a.m. in these classrooms doing our work and shit. And it's just funny because all of us would like have these paranormal experiences and just be like, cool, I've got shit to do. um, but like the chairs were all rolly chairs and they would just like roll around by themselves or
Mhm.
like start spinning or go up and down. And like it's just like kind of funny because you're like working on like design projects and stressed out about this and you just do not have the energy to deal with like oh my god, like you're just like okay, and are you going to help me with this or not, you know? And you would hear people like walking down the hallway behind you. One time I did have somebody run up on me in the hallway and I was like, hell no. Do that again and I will put your ass in a box or some shit and I will throw you in the river. um, do not test me. I'm fine with spirits and like paranormal experiences, but when you are actively trying to scare me, fuck you,
We have a
bitch.
problem. Mhm.
Fuck you. Uh, so shit was always happening, and or like another thing is like they would always call your name,
Mhm.
and like try and get you to respond. But again, like it's just funny because as designers, I don't know why we were just inherently like desensitized to this. Um, but I know people like I would have friends who would come hang out with me while I was working in the labs, because our labs were like big classrooms where you could just do design stuff. And they would just chill with me while I was like doing all this stuff, and like shit would happen, and they would freak the fuck out.
Mhm.
Um, and I was like, dude, chill out. It's just, it's just a ghost. Um, but it was a lot of ghost activity, like people who definitely died during, like while they were bedridden and like things like that. Children who wanted to play and were probably playing in the hallways. Things like that were definitely occurring there. You could see people in windows and you knew that there was nobody in that window
Mhm.
because that building was locked and nobody was allowed inside. Um, in the woods, if you've listened to the podcast, and Len, you know who my head spirit is. I don't get lost.
Mhm.
I can always tell you where north is. I can always tell you how to get somewhere. I can always get us from point A to point B. I'm like a human GPS, okay? Um, the forest definitely has some kind of fey other folk activity because there are like these natural and man-made like arches and like stuff in the forest and on campus because it has like a huge forest on there, and you have to be careful because I was riding my bike through there one day and I got lost for like 3 hours. I'm sorry.
Nice.
And then I came, like, I got out and I was like, how the fuck did I get to this point? Because I know these woods like the back of my hands, but I had gone through one of the arches without paying attention and immediately was turned around. And I could tell that I was like not really in the same space. And I was like, ooh, I'm in danger, girl.
Mhm.
I need to get the fuck out of here.
Mhm.
And so rushing to kind of have those things taken care of. um, the spirits would also wake me up to do rounds, like patrol the grounds, because like I ended up being like this protector of the space basically, and I was like, I didn't sign up for this. And they would wake me up at like 2 a.m and they'd be like, go to the blue hole, go to this area in the forest, go to whatever, and shit would be there. And so I've have like these experiences with that. And then one day I had formed like a coven, and then we researched and found that there was never a moment that that Catholic university didn't have a coven at some point on campus. So it's like the one before you graduates, within the following year a new one is formed with the zero communication between each other.
That's wild.
Yeah. And so it turns out like each coven kind of ends up protecting the space and whatnot. Just because like it's such a crossroads for so many spirits that like
Mhm.
obviously any kind of spirit can come in, but somebody definitely put something up to try and limit more hostile, malevolent spirits from coming in. Um, but occasionally they would break through and there was things that you would have to deal with. But you know, somebody got possessed once.
Mm.
And they were speaking in languages they did not know, quite fluently. I was kind of impressed by the spirit. I said, damn bitch, you know your languages. um,
She's been
Also,
around. She's traveled.
yeah, I said, also you're being a little cliche. um, What? Come on, give me something new. Can you like
Mhm.
go on the ceiling? Give me something, girl.
Mhm.
I love that you're a polyglot, but is there anything else?
So unoriginal.
So unoriginal. Anyway, be gone, bitch.
Mhm.
Be gone,
The
bitch.
power of Christ compels you.
Those are James.
That's a joke.
Um, but yeah, so I definitely had experiences like that. But while at university, COVID happened, and I went back home,
I'm same.
and then things happened. So that's when I found out that our house spirit had been um, altered permanently
Mhm.
by all of the trauma that had happened in the house. And he looks like the tall man from The Haunting of Hill House.
Mm.
Um, it was horrifying. He scared the fuck
Mhm.
out of me. I Oh yes, well that's later. We're not there yet. uh, so we moved out of that house, right? Because my parents divorced. We didn't want to be in that house
Yeah.
anymore. It was time for new beginnings. The house was not
Mhm.
happy that we were leaving. So in that time, um, actually, as we were packing, my mom has a photo somewhere. I don't have it with me, but there is a photo of her taking a picture through the window of the backyard because she was like, "Do you see that?" And I looked, and there was a man, a shadow person, the man with the black with the hat, standing in our neighbor's yard looking at our house, in their backyard looking at our house. And she has a photo of him. He manifested in the photo. And that felt like such a bad thing because he only shows up when shit is gonna go bad.
Yeah.
Uh, Thankfully, nothing really did at that point. So I don't really know why he showed up. Uh, Tezcatlipoca, what do you want? um, El Charro Negro, where's your horse?
Don't give me
um,
Benadryl. I owe the Hatman money.
literally. Um,
Send him
and
away.
so that happened. And then I actually have a video that I think I can show. Oh, so this like was one of the spots that the spirits would take me to. Uh,
Mm.
and it was hidden in the forest.
Mhm.
Of course, it was.
The more that I think about it, I'm realizing that I've had a bit more experiences that I just don't remember as much. Like the I times in college, the music building uh was haunted. Um some people think that it was haunted by the guy that started the music program at the college however long ago it was. Because the building's named after him. So they say that he's Witherspoon. That's the name of the building, Witherspoon. People think that maybe it is him. People think that Witherspoon haunts the building, and I have stayed because the building locks from the outside at midnight, so like you can get out, you just won't be able to get in. And I've stayed late practicing, um, and usually I was always a procrastinator, so I always did everything that I needed to like to prepare for the next day, and so there was one night I was practicing something for that I had to perform the next day, and it was late, and I heard someone playing piano, and I was like, "There's no way that there's someone else in here." So I called out to them. I was like, "Hey, is like who's there?" Like, because if the whole building is empty, why are you choosing the practice room right next to me? Like that's rude. Come
Right.
on. So I'm like, hey, like there's someone already in here. What are you doing? Hey. The piano stops playing and I don't hear anyone respond. Um, so I'm like, okay, maybe it was Witherspoon. So me, I'm like, okay, well, I'm curious, so I wanted to go see,
Of course.
and because I thought there was someone there, so I was like, okay, well, maybe I can just talk to them real quick and be like, hey, like I'll move if they're not willing to. So I went over to talk to them. I knocked on the door. I didn't hear anything, so I opened it. There was no one there. Um, there was no one in the hall, and I was like, okay, well, like it's not like I mean, what if they got up and ran out of the room? But also these
Right.
doors are heavy. I would have heard that. Um Like I would have heard them moving around. You know what I mean? Like they're not, the practice rooms are not um soundproof. Clearly not soundproof. So
That's
like
not great. They should be.
yeah, well, I mean yeah, you're right. They probably should be, but they definitely were not. Um they're carpeted. They were carpeted. The walls were carpet like to absorb the sound, but it wasn't good enough. Um anyway, but
I
I
hate
remember that.
carpeted practice rooms. That's so
Yeah.
nasty.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
so gross.
And then yeah, I would hear things walking out in the hall sometimes, and we just accepted it. Like they were like people would talk about like, oh, it's probably Witherspoon. Witherspoon just wants to make sure you're doing okay.
Witherspoon wants to make sure you're practicing.
No, literally, yes, 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 yes. But that's something that I remember from being in a college, and then the dorm room or the dorm building that was next to mine. Um, People moved out, like they kicked everyone out because someone had died in there. Um, they had took their own life in the on the top floor, and so they were like, "Well, no one can be here anymore." And people still say that they see that person walking on the top floor.
Oh,
Yeah, this is in Arkansas. If you want to go check that out.
you perfect time.
Oh, one more thing. Sorry.
Please keep going because I haven't found
my
it yet.
my coworker, she's not a coworker anymore, but my coworker, she her daughter does like a TV show that's on Peacock right now that they're doing paranormal investigations here in Arkansas, and they did an episode dedicated to um, the campus that I went to the university. So there's half the episode is them investigating that dorm room where that person died, and then the other one is investigating the music building. And I haven't seen it yet, but I know that it's out there because she was like, "Oh my god, my daughter's in it," and she was, yeah. Anyway,
I have been a part of paranormal investigations, but we will get there in a second if I can find this
I
goddamn
want to
fucking
do that
thing.
so bad. I think it'd be fun.
It's so fun until people realize that you're not just like investigating, that you're an actual practitioner and can do something about it.
Hmm.
And then suddenly their vibe changes. Okay, I think I found it. Basically, long story short, is that the spirit got upset and threw our boxes, and we were all
Hmm.
there and we all saw it. And I was like, bitch, no, the fuck, you're not. You're not doing this. Um, okay, here. I'm so sorry. I feel like I've just been looking for this for the past like hour.
It's fine.
I do have a photo though of either way. The spirit got upset that we were moving and decided to start throwing shit around in the house. And that was fucking stupid and it fucking sucked. And then there was I worked at a distillery. I actually used to manage it, assistant general manager, and it was haunted as fuck. It was the first bank in the South that allowed women who were prostitutes to handle their own money without the presence of a man. Um, it also had a secret tunnel,
Secret tunnel.
um, to allow people who were high class in the city to secretly go visit brothels and
Oh.
speakeasies and everything like that.
Hmm.
Um, this place was extremely haunted, horribly haunted. Ghosts stuck in time loops, spirits who are angry, you name it, it was there. Mimics,
Hmm.
we had everything. It was a very interesting time, and my team were ended up being mostly people I knew, and they were all practitioners, and so it became even more lively. And so at one point, we go to work, and keep in mind, it's been a day where there's nobody there, and there is a knife in the ceiling. Um,
Oh.
yeah, and it's not like it's just in the ceiling, it's like stuck in a place that's really like you can't get to it. You can't get to it without like a chair or a ladder. And even if you have a chair, you'd have to be at least like 6'2" to be able to reach this spot in the ceiling. And hold on, I just need to move this out of the way really quick. And so we were like, what the fuck? And you check the cameras, and sure enough, like it's there. It's not there, and then out of nowhere the camera like glitches and it's there in the like wall, and it's not like somebody threw it straight up. It's like stabbed into like the wall, because it was like there were like parts of the wall that were like indented up into squares. It's
Hmm.
like stabbed into the side vertical of one of those, and makes zero sense as to how that happened. uh
Yeah.
and I know I had that one saved, but I'm not going to waste our time looking for that. But that happened. There was a time where we would store the beer kegs like in the distillery itself. And if you've ever tried to lift a beer keg, that shit is
Yes.
fucking
Yes.
heavy. um, Especially when they're full. It's not too crazy when it's empty, but yeah. So the spirits here had no issue whether or not there were guests present or not,
Hmm.
and would throw things while guests were
Hmm.
present. So this was on the wall,
Hmm.
and flew off while we were a full restaurant. This was our back private room. Remember this for later. Uh, and so that was something that happened. They threw a bottle of wine. There was a day where we had glassware. I'm trying to see if I have a fit photo of like where our glassware used to sit.
Hmm.
Um, so like over here, like you can kind of see like all of our glassware here on
Hmm.
the sides, and over here too. Um, Basically, during service, the glasses would fly off the shelves and shatter. Um, and so crazy things were basically constantly happening in this space. You would hear your name called, you would hear crazy things happening. There was one point in which, um, oh, this was another
Oh, what the
experience.
fuck is that?
Okay, so we started hearing a banging, and you can kind of hear it. And this was one of my employees, and he was a huge skeptic, and he grabbed a fucking hammer because he thought it was a person. um, what the fuck?
If there's an experience here, not. I guess it's not spirit. If there's someone here, can you do that knock twice? Or make that sound twice? Ah, dang. No, I'm done. Oh, what the fuck is that?
That's so fun. I love that.
Yeah, so like things were constantly happening in this space.
Hmm.
This was another thing, I think.
What the?
So things like started, like the alarm started going off. That alarm only goes off if somebody enters a restricted area, and we didn't understand like how it could have gone off right then. But also, like I had walked in, and like you would walk in, and these tables that we put all the chairs in, you could tell like somebody had been sitting in them, but nobody was in the distillery. Let me see if there's another one. I'm trying to see. My other account might have the other videos, and the stuff from the paranormal investigation team. But there was also a moment where we thought it would be cute to hold a seance.
Of course.
And so I brought my Ouija board. I knew what I was doing, but my friend brought her little sister and didn't tell me until she was there. And I was like, hello? Like, this isn't the place for your little sister who's like 15 to be joining, but she was like, she'll be fine. I was like, you know what? Whatever.
I disagree, but
Um,
whatever.
I disagree. And I was like, look, no matter what happens, you cannot get up and leave this room. You cannot get up and leave this table. I need you to stay here and stay seated. Uh, and so we're doing the seance, and my friend, who's the GM, she was like, she loved paranormal shit, but more so like in the way that a white woman loves it, where she's like, "Oh my god, if you're here, do blah 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 blah," right? And I'm like, "Bitch, shut the fuck up! You're gonna piss off these spirits." Um, and so we're holding the seance, and we were in that room. I told you to like, hey, remember this room? And the door was held by a doorstop. And
Mm-hmm.
my friend goes, "Spirits, if you're here, because we had already been getting some answers on the board, I want you to close that door." And I was like, please stop. Like, they're not here to do party tricks. I'm trying to actually help these spirits. I know you guys are
Yeah.
here just for shits and giggles, but I am actually trying to help the spirits that are here. Um, the door starts to close so forcefully that there's the doorstop and it's like moving against the doorstop. And my friend's little sister starts screaming and crying and gets up and runs out of the building.
Oh my god, that poor girl.
And I was like, "Ugh, I warned y'all." There's also a photo somewhere uh, of us having all left the distillery. We closed at 9. Um, and it's like 1 a.m. and the building across the street, they sent us a photo and they were like, why are y'all having a ball and not telling us, like a masquerade? And sure enough, the lights are all on and you can see people with masks inside the distillery. We did not have an event. Nobody was there. Uh, Creepy as fuck.
Interesting.
There also was a moment where me and my friend, the GM, the one who was
Mm-hmm.
like white girl, whatever. There was a moment where I was doing a tarot reading, um, and we had found out that there was these 3 women who were in charge of all the spirits there, and they were called the Three Sisters, and they were very like vampiric. They were definitely they were like they were prostitutes who like kind of leveled up, and they were like basically the ones in charge of everything. But they
Mm-hmm.
were very very upset at anybody who came in the building, men in general, things like that. Very violent, very destructive, very malefic. And so as I was doing this reading, we hear like a woman scream in the building, and not like a painful scream, like a "I want to kill you, I'm so angry" scream. And we were like, what the fuck? Because it was just me and my manager, my friend at the time. And I look in my box, and there's a card stuck inside the box that didn't come out when I started doing the reading. And it's one of the queens. And it was like, and I had asked like, what's going on? And it was like, the queen is trapped. One of the 3 sisters was trapped, and it was because my spirits had trapped her in the box, so I could do the reading and actually help spirits, because the 3 sisters were holding spirits hostage in the building. And so if I had her trapped, I could actually communicate with the spirits. They could tell me things without fear of being heard by one of the 3 sisters, and like fear of like retaliation or being hurt or whatever. So that happened. That was crazy. And then we ended up having a paranormal investigation team come in.
Mm-hmm.
And I have the audio file somewhere. I'm not going to actually, I could probably find it while I talk. So they come in and are asking a bunch of questions to us before they begin. Oh, cool. Fantastic. Easy. Found it. Um, so we have this ghost team, paranormal investigation team come in. And I was like, hey, I just want to let y'all know, like, I'm a practitioner. It's within my spiritual practice, my religion, to do certain things before we begin a paranormal investigation, just to let the spirits know that we're here. We want to help. We're here not to just torment you or annoy y'all or just like for shits and giggles. We're just here for jokes. So I perform this little thing before I go in. And as soon as we go in, we are having activity. And so we're recording things and whatnot. And we are finding it kind of funny because the spirits are kind of answering when the paranormal investigation team is answering, but they have this machine. And basically, this machine holds in its context, it's electronic and it holds a bunch of different words. It's like a dictionary of words, right? It has a shit ton of words, and the spirits basically pick words from this dictionary that it has, this vocabulary, to make sentences and whatnot. And it reads them out loud. And so, the funny thing is that we could kind of get things from this machine, but as soon as I would hold the machine, the spirits would just full sentences, answer, 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 answer. Uh, and it was kind of crazy. And so during this investigation, we asked how many spirits were present, and it was like, I don't know, I think it was like in total 120. It was like 20 on one floor, 50 on one, and then 80 on another floor. And so it was like a shit ton of spirits. They all actually addressed the three sisters, excuse me, at one point. And then we were trying to figure out how they all died, how did everyone get here. Um, and yes, the answers varied, but the biggest answer was um, a flood that had happened, and they gave us a date. And we looked it up right then and there. And sure enough, in that year, there was a massive flood that killed a bunch of people um, in that area of the city. And so we are pretty convinced that that's where a lot of these people are coming from, the spirits are coming from. And then we went to the third floor where our kitchen was. And as we enter this space, I'm telling them, like, look, there's a malefic spirit here. This is where we have like a mimic. It always tries to get you to answer. It's kind of aggressive. It will throw things at you. Like, this is a place where we have like a more hostile spirit. As I'm explaining this, we look over to the gentleman, and he changes. Like, his body structure kind of changes a little bit. His eyes like are not his eyes. They almost like change color. And he like starts to get like really creepy. Like, he starts like tilting his head down, and like, oh, I'm like, fuck, he's possessed. And I'm like backing up because he starts getting in the way of the door. Like, he's like slowly like moving and like getting in front of the door and like getting aggro, and like I can tell like he's gonna get aggressive. He's gonna get violent, and he's possessed. And so I start like reaching for my like magic tools and shit because I'm like, oh hell no. I
Yeah.
am not about to die in this place because this white man got possessed because he wanted to play with shit he didn't understand. And I'm like backing up so that way I have like a better advantage. Because the two girls, my friend and his wife, didn't even realize that he was possessed, and he got in the way of the only exit and was like facing us. And I was like, hey, you guys. And they were like, what? What is it? What is it? And I was like, he's possessed. And they turn, and sure enough, he's like saying crazy shit and like getting like crazy. And finally, like, I'm able to get him out of it. And he was like, I feel horrible. That I felt like I can't even remember what happened. I feel like I was like disembodied. I felt like
Mm-hmm.
there was something crazy. And I just felt like I can still feel the residual of like the rage that the spirit had that just came into me. It's just because he's a white man. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. He actually did get possessed.
Yeah.
But it was kind of crazy. And so again, like, we start having these experiences, and we're hearing knockings, we're hearing all these things, we're getting feedback.
Mm-hmm.
And then throughout all of this, we're having recordings happening. Um, and we are getting we don't know until after, when they go back to the recordings, that they were actually picking up on voices. And yeah, so I don't know if you heard, but like, I was also the only one where the spirits
Yeah.
would answer when I held the
Yeah.
machine.
Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
Full
that one was
sentences.
great, full sentences, finding out the flood. And so I have the audios here. And so the email says, hey, here are quite a bit of the EVPs we captured that night. I actually caught more, but these are profound. You might need to use headphones. These for the first few are the craziest. Lots of sexual things captured, and mean guys laughing or growling. So fucked up. Let me know what you think. And so you for those of you listening, this is going to be kind of loud. So if you're in headphones or anything like that, just brace yourselves. Um, I
Adjusting the
don't. Is
volume.
there? I know there was one that was like really crazy. Um, oh, the evil laugh and the growl.
Mm.
And so this is the male evil laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Did someone die at a wedding? Oh my god. What is that sound over there?
Swim. I just heard something. What was that? It sounded like a dude or something.
Did you hear it?
I didn't.
So it's like right. I'll point up when you hear it.
Okay.
Did someone die at a wedding? Oh my god.
So right before she says, "Oh my god,"
It sounds like
there's like this.
growling.
Yeah, so there's like this laugh / like growl that happens, and then on this one, okay, so let me see. Female says, "Hey." Where's the other one?
Male evil laugh.
That's the one
That's
we
funny.
just listened to. The growl.
Those. Was that?
Did you hear it?
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, that one was crazy.
Oh my god, violent call?
I'm feeling it actually. I'm feeling kind of
Like
angry.
a yell?
Yeah.
Did you hear it?
I didn't hear it.
If you listen, you hear someone whisper a male, "Don't do that."
Okay.
Like right after he's like, "I felt angry."
Oh my god, violent call?
I'm feeling it actually. I'm feeling kind of
Like
angry.
a yell?
Yeah.
Right there. Don't do that. In the back. So like
I
right
can't
at
really
4.
hear it. Okay.
Yeah.
Right there. Like literally right at 4.
Yeah.
Barely.
So
I can barely hear it. Yeah.
It's like really quiet.
Kind of
Like a
angry.
yell?
Right there.
So I'm feeling kind of
Like a
angry.
yell?
Yeah.
Don't do that.
I wouldn't be able to make out what it's saying, but I could definitely hear that someone is whispering.
And then I think this one was pretty loud. Yeah, that one's all fucked. Let's see.
I heard
That
the
says
hey.
fake. Yeah. The help one was kind of crazy. I don't know if we'll be able to hear it though.
Who is in charge?
Did you hear that right there?
That was
Help.
clear.
Help. Let's see. This one says, "You're dead."
Call. That's a very high energy.
Right there. You're dead.
Call Violet. Call Violet. Oh my god, if my landlord texted me, I'll freak out.
Violent.
Violent. Well, when he
That's a very high energy.
Right there. It's kind
I
of
heard
hard
it.
because it's hearing the clicking, but that's like right before the guy got possessed. So let's see. The knock, I mean, it's a knock. You're going to hear it. It's pretty
Yeah.
easy. The sexual moaning is kind of crazy because, like, obviously
Yeah.
there was like,
All right, y'all.
What was
Pique
it?
your interest.
Dragging?
No, just like no face.
Yeah.
The kitchen.
Almost.
did you hear that?
Yeah.
That's not any of us.
No, just like no face.
Yeah.
The kitchen.
Dragging?
No, just like no face.
Yeah.
The kitchen.
Almost.
Did you hear it?
Interesting. Yeah. Hmm.
So I picked up on a little girl and she started holding my hand.
Yeah.
And she kind of like walked me through the entire distillery to guide us. And this was the little girl. So like literally in the first, like in the foyer of this building, I immediately have this girl greet me. And she's like, and on the audio, you hear her say hello. And then I feel her grab my hand. And this is like, basically though, the funny thing is like, I don't know if we can hear this one.
Hello, I am Faith. And you are?
Ooh. Heard that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I've got the chills. Yeah. Crazy time and funny
Mhm.
story about this paranormal investigation is that when they were done and after they sent the email, they called us and they said, "We will never be going back ever again." uh, they And actually, before I worked there, there had been 2 previous ones. The first
Mhm.
one the entire team got horribly sick before entering the building. They didn't even do
Oh.
the investigation. The second one had an accident before they got to the building. So this was the first one that actually got to have an investigation, got possessed, and then they said they were so freaked out by the building and everything that was happening that they refused to ever come back.
That makes sense.
And then I've had paranormal experiences ever since then too. I mean, that was like 5 years ago, 4 years ago that stuff
Mhm.
happened. And I constantly have things that happen. I mean, I just told you that like shit was happening in my apartment the other day when my boyfriend moved in with me. We had a ghost. Something
Mhm.
had definitely happened in the apartment we got. Um, and it was pretty fucked up what happened. I won't share um, because we don't have proof, but I'm pretty confident in what happened. But our
Yeah.
living room light and fan would turn on at like 3 a.m. every day.
Hmm.
And I told my boyfriend to like be prepared when you move in with me. Shit happens.
Yeah.
This isn't like, oh, like I don't know, like something like low key, like, oh no, I heard a floorboard creak. No, this I'm talking like full apparitions, like movie type shit. The
Yeah.
first time it happened, I have a video actually of him like freaked
Mhm.
the fuck out. He turned pale and like ice cold. And at first, I thought he was joking until I like grabbed his arm. I was like, "Oh, you're about to like pass out." um, and
Baby, no,
he's
it's fine.
he's had to get used to like just shit
Yeah.
happening. There was one time where we had a 2 bedroom, and one of our rooms was an altar room, and I had turned off the candles and not turned them back on, and they had been off for a while.
Mhm.
And me and him both saw someone go from our bedroom into the wall of our other room and into the wall on the okay, so the part where they walked into the wall on the opposite end was where my altar was, and we both were freaked out, so we went to go open the door and the altar candles on my altar were on.
Hmm. That's happened to me a few times before, but I'm also like, because sometimes I'll be like, well, is it like because the candles are weird, or is it because the spirits are wanting something? And I'm just like, well, if they wanted something, they'll let me know.
Yeah, so paranormal shit, we didn't really get into how we handle shit like that, so I think that's gonna have to be a whole nother episode of
Yeah.
just like what do you do in these situations as a practitioner?
So, paranormal experiences. We don't have them.
Right. No, at all. Never.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the episode. Honestly, I'm kind of curious for people to share theirs with us. I want to hear about stuff that people have experienced. Um, Tell me all the freaky
Please, please,
shit.
please, 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 please,
Email
please.
us. Send us long stories. Actually, long stories. I want to know all of it. Give me every detail. We do have an email. Podcastunsanctioned@gmail.com. You can email us. Send us your stories. Send us your paranormal experiences. Also, just questions you have, things maybe you want us to mention in the show. You also can mention if you don't want to mention it in the show. Um, Engage with us.
I just realized at the beginning I said find us on social media at Podcast Unsanctioned because I'm fucking dyslexic. Unsanctioned Podcast.
Yeah.
That's where you can find us. Our email, though, is podcastunsanctioned
Mhm.
at gmail.com. So please send us your experiences. I love hearing people's paranormal experiences. And again, y'all, like what I touched base on today really wasn't everything I've been through. There's a lot more, and it's constantly happening every day. More and
Which,
more.
when I do eventually come up to visit you, we have to go do something. We have to do
Oh,
some investigations. I want
yes.
to, not to like, of course, never to piss off spirits. I'm just curious. I'm nosy.
Well,
Well, as
no,
soon
I
as you
don't.
were talking about earlier, like them blocking the door, I'm like, give me my scissors. I'm not going anywhere without my fucking scissors.
I had my giant knife with me that I
Yeah.
had at the time. My black handled knife that I had, and it's like this big. And I
Mhm.
was like, if you think I won't kill you,
I'll fucking do it.
I will cut that spirit right out of you.
Mhm.
I was like, I am not dying in this fucking distillery because I had already been told by the spirits there that if you die within a certain vicinity of this building, you get sucked into the building.
Hmm.
And I was like, nope.
No thanks.
No thanks. Absolutely not. I will not spend the rest of my afterlife stuck in this place that was my work. I ironically, I would rather die. um, yeah, so I definitely have. I want to hear your guys' stories.
Yeah.
And if you guys have photos or videos
Oh my
or
god,
audio,
yes.
please send it. Please send it.
Mhm.
And if you guys send us enough, we might have a whole nother episode where we just talk about these experiences that you guys share with us.
And how we would
I'm
handle
ex-
it.
yeah,
That would be so
yeah,
fun,
yeah,
actually. Oh
that'll
my god.
be amazing. So please send it to us. Even if it's like from a secondhand, like maybe you didn't have it, but your friend did. Please share.
Yeah.
We're chismosos. We want to know. Share. Um, yeah, but that was today's episode. Excuse me. I fucking died there for a second. Huh. That was today's episode. So make sure to join us on Patreon for the pre and post show, for the other exclusive content that we post. Join us over on Discord through Patreon. And don't forget to interact with us on social media. Don't forget to find us over there. And we can't wait to see y'all on the next episode. The next few episodes they're juicy. They're good. I'm super excited for them. I won't say who, but we've got a number of guests coming on
Yay.
for a couple of episodes. So I really, really can't wait to talk about all of these subjects that we're going to talk about. I'm so excited. I'm just so excited. So I will see y'all then. But then again, thank you all for listening to Unsanctioned and for being such amazing supporters of our show. We'll catch y'all in the next episode.
Unsanctioned is a Patreon supported podcast. And at this time, we would like to thank our Patreon supporters of the Blasphemer tier by name, to Pablo and Ashley. Thank you so much for your support with walking with us on the path less traveled.